Hey kids, Miss McClure here. We're going to work on investigation 9.1 today, which is substances. So, just some key ideas that I want you guys to keep in mind, and this is a little bit of a review from what we've done before. Number one, all substances are made from 90 plus different types of atoms found on the periodic table known as elements. When they combine in various ways, they make different types of particles called substances. We're going to learn that those are called compounds or molecules. Secondly, a compound is a substance composed of two or more different types of atoms. We're going to look at those in a minute. Atoms combine to make particles of different substances known as molecules, and the compounds that I referred to before, they're called ionic compounds. And these molecules and ionic compounds are held together by something called bonds. So I have a little experiment set up here that I want you to look at. So we're going to create a chemical reaction. In the reaction, our starting substances or reactants are baking soda, otherwise known as sodium bicarbonate, NaHCO3. So you guys should recognize that from class. And I didn't have any hydrochloric acid, but I have an acid that's normally found in kitchens called white vinegar. That's acetic acid, C2H4O2. So, like we talked about in class, when you look at the chemical formula, the little subscript number tells you how many of those atoms for that particular element make up that molecule. So if you look at the acetic acid, it says C2. That means there are 2 carbon atoms in the molecule. H4, there's 4 hydrogen atoms. And then O2 is 2. In sodium bicarbonate, we have sodium, which is Na. There's no subscript, so that means there's only 1. An H, 1H. A C, 1C. And O3, which means 3 oxygen atoms, 1, 2, 3. So if you look at my baking soda, let's talk about some of the physical properties of the baking soda. Well, when we talked about making good scientific observations, you can see that it's a white powder. It's very fine. It's kind of powdery, maybe a little bit granular, but that's baking soda. If you look at our acetic acid, you can see that its physical properties are it's a liquid, it's clear, not only clear, but we could also describe that as transparent because you can see through it. So when we add these two reactants together, they create a chemical reaction, and we're going to see evidence of that chemical reaction. My laboratory assistant, Austin, is going to help us out here. So you can see evidence of our chemical reaction is bubbling. So what is happening? At the particle level, what happens is our molecules are separating. The bonds between them are being broken. So the atoms come apart, and what they're going to do is they're going to mix around and come back together as new substances. So they break apart, they move around, they mix themselves up, rearrange, and now we're going to get 3 new products. We're going to get sodium acetate, which is Na, C2, O2, H3. We're going to get water, H2O, and carbon dioxide, which is CO2. So, one important thing to notice, other than the fact that the particles came apart, they rearranged themselves and stuck back together, is matter has been conserved. We don't have any new atoms, and none of the atoms have disappeared. There's still the same number at the end as there was in the beginning. They've just created new substances or products, which we know are the end result of a chemical reaction, and they each have new properties unique to themselves and different than what we started with. So I hope that's a good intro to Substances Investigation 9.1. So what I want you to do is go to Google Classroom, work on notebook sheet 67, which is kind of what we did right here, but you're going to be drawing molecules using Google Draw or some other drawing app. So you can work on that. You should also go to Go Formative and answer the question that's posted. And just follow along on the Google document. Make sure you've completed anything that is listed. Any questions, queries, quandaries, concerns, you can email me or try to catch me on Google Hangout. All right, hope all is well. Bye.